Well, the long-awaited London 2012 Olympic Games is nearly upon us. Some may question the wisdom or even the morality of expending nearly £12 billion on a sporting extravaganza in these austere and straitened times. Up and down the country, thousands of public service workers and others have either lost or will be losing their jobs because of the coalition government cutbacks. For them, the £40 million that will be spent on the opening and closing Olympic ceremonies alone may not seem or provide the kind of uplift that those who have planned it intended. To herald these, the 27th Olympic Games in the modern era, the first having been taken place in 1896 in Athens, the Olympic flame will be lit as usual in Athens and will come to Britain and traverse the entirety of the United Kingdom. Starting off in Land's End, it will travel for 70 days, involving in a relay about 8,000 torchbearers. The relay will take in many of the major cities across the UK, and as I said, starting in Land's End in the southwest of the country, it will go to areas like Londonderry and Belfast in Northern Ireland, and even as far as the Shetland Islands off the northeast coast of Scotland. It's said that up to 90% of the people or population of this country will be within 1 hour's travelling distance of the Olympic flame. Now, if you try to get tickets for one of the Olympic events, you'll know how expensive they are. The nearest I imagine that most of us will come to the Summer Games this year will be if the Olympic flame comes through a city or town near us. Well, starting off on the 19th of May in Land's End, the Olympic flame is going to work its way across the country, and on the 27th of June it's going to be in Lincoln, my hometown, and I hope, God willing, to be there to see its progress. And I'll probably doing what I do most times when I'm in the city, and that's singing to the general public. In fact, it's my plan to shadow the Olympic flame around the British Isles and take with me a Candlelight Peace Tour concert, which I hope will bring a ray of hope into people's hearts in a time of troubles and austerity. I'd like to read you a quote. "The goal of the Olympic movement is to contribute to building a peaceful and better world in educating young people through sport practiced in accordance with Olympism and its values." Now that's from the Olympic Charter of 2011, Rule 1. But the reality is that these, which are going to be the third Games to be hosted in London, the first having taken place in 1908, the second in 1948, like all previous Games, they're not going to do very much to actually bring about peace on earth. Iran, North Korea, Syria, they'll all have teams at the Olympic Games, and they won't be the only country whose domestic problems overshadow the performance of their teams. It's something of a divine comedy, perhaps a Greek tragedy, certainly a bitter irony that Greece, the originator of the ancient Olympics, is a country, a nation torn by civil strife because of the economic crisis which threatens to bring down the euro and derail the European Union. Now, with the escalating conflicts in many regions and countries around the world, it will be hard to truly rejoice in a spirit of friendly competition that these Olympics are supposed to foster. And even the sports themselves and the athletes that many of us will be focused on through July and August this summer will not be without controversy, as the spectre of drugs, which seems to be, a problem for many professional sportsmen and women, continues. Let's hope and pray that these Olympics are both successful and inspiring, and that the many competitors, whether they win or lose, do themselves, their countries, indeed humanity, proud by the genuineness of their sportsmanship. Now, when the expensive pomp and ceremony of the Diamond Jubilee year, marking the 60 years which Queen Elizabeth II has spent on the throne of England, Northern Ireland, Scotland and Wales, is past, when the last hurrah has rung out at the Olympic Stadium in East London in the rejuvenated Docklands, and when all the bickering and backbiting about the success or failure of these Olympic Games to deliver the much promised lasting legacy has died down, let's remember that the real success of a nation is not going to be in its medal haul, or indeed in the number of tourist pounds that it's managed to raise in what, after all, is a massive commercial venture. Success will be in how we as neighbours, as countrymen, indeed as world citizens, treat other human beings when we come into contact with them. That which unites us should be greater than that which separates us. If you have a chance to see the Olympic torch pass through a city or town near you, perhaps it will ignite or rekindle a small flame in your consciousness. That's what I hope to do through the concert of music that I hope to perform around the coast, from coast to coast, around Britain. If you would like to support or sponsor me in this Candlelight Olympic Peace Tour, or find out how you could get one of these t-shirts, or indeed one of my Candlelight CDs, then please read the information at the end of this video and get in touch if you think you can help. If you're not able to provide any material support, your positive thoughts, your prayers will be most welcome.